Good morning, friend. Welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new, my name is Becky, and yesterday we canned up 36 pints of homegrown black beans. So now what I need to do is get them washed up. I need to remove the rings, and this is the only kitchen stuff we're doing today. I have enough meal prep from the last two cooking projects we did that I don't really need to cook anything today. So what that means is we are gonna head outside and do a ton of garden projects. I just got in the mail a new tool to trellis tomatoes that I wanted for years, and I finally got it. We are going to do some tomato maintenance. I need to feed the garden. The garden is hungry, which just means I need to fertilize it. So that's gonna make me kind of messy because I use a fish emulsion and it kind of stinks. So we're gonna start and we're gonna do some tomato care, feeding everything, and then we are going to prep the patio for the summer. I need to do some more patio kind of cleaning and maintenance. We're gonna enjoy the sunshine. This right here is why you wanna clean your jars. Can you see that? There's kind of some gunk on the outside, and that's just a normal part of the canning process, and you do not wanna set that on your pantry shelf with that on there. And you don't want to store your canning jars with rings on it because you don't want to get a false seal. So I like to take all the rings off, and I throw all of these in the dishwasher before I put them away, because not only are the jars kind of dirty, but the rings are kind of dirty. These are homegrown black beans that we grew in last year's garden, if you weren't with me when we jarred this all up. And I need to get both of these canners clean, because not only do you need to get the jars clean, but you need to get the inside of your canners clean as well. So I'm gonna start with these, and I do use soapy water. I figured we would just get this done first thing, and then they can dry, and then they can be put away. Canning beans is one of my favorite things to can. If you're new to canning, you cannot water bath canned beans. You have to pressure wash them. We are going to be pressure washing today. That must be why it's on my mind. You have to pressure can them. So you do need a special canner in order to can them up. But my two favorite things to pressure can, and the only two things I pressure can on repeat, are broths, chicken and beef broth, and beans. I started canning beans before I even had my own garden because I liked the idea that I was eating canned beans out of a glass jar. That kind of appealed to me. I liked that I could buy dried beans at a very affordable price and jar them up. I already had the jars because I was a water bath canner long before I was a pressure canner, and really the only repeating cost for pressure canning beans for me was the beans themselves and the lids. And it's just been really fun. Now, the reason why if you missed it, I said earlier, yesterday I canned these beans up, and the reason I didn't can them up last year when I harvested them is because I already had a bunch of beans jarred up on my pantry shelf from the previous year's harvest. And so I really wanted to make sure we kind of ate through those beans before I went through the effort of jarring up these beans. So we ended up getting 32 pints, I think, which is going to last us quite some time. Black beans are our favorite. I already have some pinto beans on the pantry shelf from last year when I jarred up beans, but I didn't can up any of the pinto beans that I grew in the garden last year because I want to make sure that I kind of go through those pinto beans before I jar up the dried beans. The dried beans will sit on my pantry shelf for a really long time. And I'm way more likely to gravitate toward using beans if they are already jarred up. I use these as a convenience item, which is really, really nice. And I do like to make sure everything is scrubbed down with some soapy water and rinsed off really well. I am going to let these beans completely dry on the counter, and then I will mark what they are and the date. Always mark what your jars are and the date, because you think you will remember, but you probably will not remember when you did it or what exactly they are. So here I am washing up the other beans that I got, and now I really need to wash up this pressure canner. I actually washed both of them up. I ended up borrowing my neighbor's pressure canner so that I could get them done quicker. This is a Presto pressure canner, and it can hold 20 pints, and I wanted to be able to get it all done kind of in one go, and so my neighbor let me borrow hers, so I'm going to wash mine and hers so that they're ready to go next time I need to use it for myself, and I can give it back to my neighbor nice and clean. I can link my pressure canner. It's the pressure canner I've been using for years, and I really, really like it. I have two pressure canners. I have this one, which is a stovetop one. When I do bigger projects, I like to use this one. And then I do have an electric countertop one when I'm doing smaller projects. I really actually do prefer that one, but if I'm going to do a huge project, I do pull this one out. So I'm just going to get it all nice and cleaned up. And then we've got a lot of projects we're going to be doing today, a lot of inside projects and a lot of outside projects. So it feels good that we're going to get this one buttoned up. Okay, I got all of the jars cleaned up. I got the pressure canners cleaned up, and I figured since I'm not going to be doing any cooking today and this stove needs to be clean, let's go ahead and get this clean. That way the kitchen can be all clean and we can enjoy a clean kitchen. All right, that looks a lot better. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get this clean. And now the kitchen is fully clean after yesterday's shenanigans. And then we can enjoy a clean kitchen until I have to cook again and make it a mess. Oh, I still need to mark on the tops of each jar what they are and put the date on it, but I'm gonna let them just air dry. And then I'll put a Sharpie. And the first jars I washed were the bush beans, and the second set of jars I washed were the pole beans. I can tell a difference because of the size of the bean in the jar, but I will write on top which is which. The kitchen project is done that I wanted to get done. So let's head outside and start our projects out here. It is absolutely stunning out here. And this is my new toy that I just got in the mail. And I have to figure out how to put it together. So this is a, I don't know what it's called, tape tool. I have seen these for years. Normally I just take my tomato vines and wrap them in the cattle panel, but I wanted to try this. Is it already, oh, it already has tape in it. Okay, so I don't have to put this tape in it, it doesn't look like. There we go. Okay, I see how it works. There we go, okay. Oh, that's what the staples are for. It actually staples. I was wondering how it held it together, and I was confused why it came with a box of staples, but that makes sense. Okay, so let's go use this out in the garden. I want to feed all of my green stalks as well and show you how I do that. And put away these trays. These are the last of the trays that got washed up. And I've got some pumpkins that have sprouted that I may or may not plant today. Let's just tackle the next thing on my list. I do have, oh, you know what I'm gonna grab? I am struggling with flea beetles on my tomato plants. Never have I ever had flea beetles on, or any sort of pest attacking my tomato plants. And I think I'm getting a handle on it by spraying them with soapy water. So I'm gonna get some soap and bring this outside. Here is what she's looking like right now. Absolutely beautiful, I think. But here you can see a prime example of this tomato plant needs a little bit of support. So what I'm gonna do is tie this up. Okay. Look at that. Easy. Now I'm gonna trim some of this up. Okay, this one's not quite tall enough for me to, wait, maybe we're here. There we go. Now, I do not prune my tomatoes like a lot of people prune their tomatoes. We live somewhere where it is very dry in the summer. So starting about right now, we usually only get maybe at 1 or 2 or 3, if that, days of rain between now and say the beginning of September. And so because of that, we don't have very much humidity. And so I don't have to worry so much about the diseases that can happen on tomatoes when it comes to high humidity climate. So this is where gardening can be very, very different. So a lot of people prune all the suckers off all their tomato plants. And I have found in my area that's not 100% necessary, because I don't have to worry about making sure that my tomatoes have a tremendous amount of airflow, because we don't have to fight that humidity. So what I do is I just prune a lot of the foliage and not all the suckers. I have found that my yield is much greater when I leave quite a few suckers on there. So even though it looks like I'm pruning quite a bit, I'm really actually not pruning any of the suckers except for the ones that are on the very bottom of the plant that could touch the soil. I still don't want my foliage touching the soil, and I do want it to breathe a little bit. So the way I do that is I prune more of the foliage than the actual suckers themselves. I love that. Easy peasy. So now I'm going to do that exact same thing to this row of tomato plants and this row of tomato plants. This plant doesn't look super great, so it definitely needs to be fed today. Right, so I got all of them attached, except for the ones that aren't quite tall enough. I only have about 2. That is my new favorite tool. I do need to pick up all of the trimmings here, but I think what I'm going to do next, oh, I want to show you this. Look at these. And then I have one more over here I want to show you real quick. It is the most beautiful. Look at this anemone. I don't remember the name of it, but can you believe? Look at that. Wow. These are the black beans, the same black beans I canned up yesterday. I just picked some snapdragons, the first of the year. We're gonna bring some of these inside and make a quick little bouquet. I've never used anything like this before, so I'm not sure. Oh. Oh, you can put more than one flower per hole, I think. Yeah. Oh my goodness, look at that. I am absolutely thrilled with my thrift store find vase. I could put twice as many flowers in here, but that's what I harvested, and I'm excited about, this is the first bouquet of the season. Yeah, I think that needs to go back where it was. So I'm definitely gonna need to practice with this vase, but overall, thrilled. Sadly, these snapdragons are too bendy, so they will just go in the compost. This is almost full enough and I can empty it, and I'm excited once I can empty this. Okay, I am so excited about that bouquet. I'm just shutting that so my dog doesn't try to run through there. So what I'm gonna do now is feed all my tomatoes because I can tell that they're a little hungry, and I'll show you how I do that. About once a week, I try to feed all the plants. I usually can't get to every plant in one, go because it's 20 beds, and I'll show you how long it takes me to do one bed. Here is what I'm gonna feed them. This is what I was feeding them when they were seedlings. I go ahead and I grab my hose. Next, I need a watering can. I have a little helper that likes to put rocks in my watering can, which is not a big deal. I'm gonna shake this really well. Put about a tablespoon or two. This stuff is kind of stinky, so that's why I like to get the inside stuff I want to get done first before I start working with this, because I inevitably will kind of spill this on myself. So I will take a shower after I finish this project and the next project we're gonna do. I always put the fertilizer in first because this water is gonna mix it up for me. I do 1 pitcher per bed. And I like to get the leaves. That's it. I'm gonna get this whole top row, and then I'll know the top row is done. Next time I come out here, I'll do the second row and the third and fourth row. I just spilled some of this down my leg, and so I definitely need a shower after this. Well, I am already doing this. I already have this fertilizer all over me. I was only gonna do that top row. Well, I originally wanted to do all of them, and then I was only gonna do the top row, and now I only have 3 more to go, and I have done every row, every bed. And I just figured, might as well keep going if I'm already doing it. It needs to be done, so let's get it done. I have some pots here that need to be just watered too. I officially fed every bed, which is awesome. So let's turn our attention back up to the patio, where I've got 2 big projects I want to get done up there. And I need this to do, actually, I have 3 projects I want to do up there. I need this for one of them. It feels good to just kind of push through and get all of the beds done so that I can kind of, oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't feed my lemon tree. I'm gonna come back and do that. So, but overall, it feels good that I went ahead and got 99.9% of the main garden fed so that I don't have to think about that for about another week, week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. Now we're gonna do another project I need to do up here. I do this about once a week. I put a couple tablespoons of liquid fertilizer in each one of these tops and water. And this takes some time. So what I'd like to do is get one going, and then I go on and do other things while this one is being watered. Now, my old wand that broke over the winter, the head used to bend, which was really nice because I could just set it like this, bend it, and it would stay. This one doesn't do that, unfortunately. So if you get a wand, make sure you get one that bends. But what I have found that works is I can turn it on and set the lid on it like that. The water goes down in it, it stays put. I let it go. I usually have to play with it for a little bit. This is not ideal. I just bought this wand this year, so I'll use it until I need to get a new one, but definitely get one that bends. And I just let that go for a few minutes, and then I'll put fertilizer in this one and move it to the 9 that I have. So while that's going, let's move on to taking care of these. These are the last of the trays that needed to be washed up. They air dried out here overnight. Well, I guess there's that tray there, but that still has pumpkins sprouting. Now, the next project I want to tackle while I'm watering all those green stalks is cleaning this grill. So Josh already took most of the pieces out and put them over there because I'm going to pressure wash the rugs again today. That's the 3rd project. So green stalk watering, grill, and pressure washing. And I'm going to pressure wash these pieces. I saw on Instagram someone pressure washing the inside of their grill, and I thought that was brilliant. I did not realize how bad this grill is. I have never vacuumed it out, and I should probably be doing this once a year, once every 6 months. I don't know. But it is so bad, it was catching on fire. I love grilling, and I did not know how bad it was in here. I'll bring you in to show you. It's kind of embarrassing. But I'm gonna put these pieces by the other ones so we can pressure wash them. So, can you see that? That's not good. So that all needs to be cleaned out. I clean the outside of this grill all the time, but the inside, I didn't know I was supposed to be cleaning. So this is embarrassing to show you how bad this is, but you know, you don't know what you don't know, and I use my grill at least once, if not twice a week, all winter long because our grill is on a covered area, and so I can have access to it even if it's raining, because even though we don't get rain in the summer, we get rain all winter long. And I have had this grill, we bought this grill right when we moved in for our actually housewarming party, and it's gotten a lot of use. I absolutely love it. But now I know that probably every, I don't know, 4 or 6 months, I should take it apart and maybe vacuum it out because it needs to be cleaned. But I'm showing you because this is what I'm doing today, but I know that it was really, really bad. I'm going to move all these out of the way because I'm going to set up the pressure washer, and I'm going to, well, I might not need to pressure wash this far back, but I'm going to move these out of the way anyway. I need to get those rugs cleaned off again. I'm not sure why they got so bad again, but it's a beautiful day, so I'm going to take advantage of it and get that cleaned off. And while I was cleaning out the inside of that grill, I think I'm gonna put the guts of the grill in my dishwasher. My mom said she did that with her smoker and it worked really well. And her grill grates were really, really bad. So instead of pressure washing them, I'm gonna run them through the dishwasher. And I think I'm gonna bring these pots down to the garden because I don't think they're getting quite enough sun right here because this tree has gotten so big. I'll just put them over here for now as a reminder to bring those to the garden. I'm gonna see if Josh is available to help me move furniture after I get these in the dishwasher. Josh is gonna be down in just a second to help me move furniture. And I got those grates in the dishwasher running. I got some water because I'm thirsty. And there's something else I was gonna say. I can't remember. But the last things I'm gonna water real quick before we get to pressure washing. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I completely forgot that I pulled out some organ meat to freeze dry for the dogs and put it in the refrigerator. And as of today, it's completely thawed. So now that's gonna be on the list. I have got to get that organ meat in the freeze dryer today because I don't want that to sit in my fridge. So we'll do that after pressure washing. I forgot about that. I might not have bitten off all of these projects today if I had remembered about that organ meat. Oh well. I guess it's not a bad thing to be extra productive. These, now I'm watering once a day, these hanging baskets. So this is just part of the daily routine. I do want to get these moved because I don't want them to get splashed with the pressure washer. Hey. So I'm not pressure washing the deck. I'm just going to pressure wash the rugs. So we just have to move the furniture. But I don't really want these to get splashed, so I was just gonna move these out of the way. Josh is gonna look in here. Look.
Wow.
It was so bad.
It's like a new grill.
Yeah. I'm gonna scrub it more with some water and stuff, but that's just the vacuuming and scrub the outside.
We gotta take that little tray out.
Yeah. I guess we could just move one at a time. This over,
Yeah.
and then that over.
See if this even works.
So you saw me pressure wash this, or maybe you didn't. I pressure washed this rug once and it looked a lot better, but there's kind of like this red stuff that's disconcerting. So I'm gonna pressure wash it one more time. I would like to get 2 seasons out of these rugs. I did not put them up over winter, which I should have. Next year, if I buy a new one, next year I will put it up in the winter, but I would like to get one more year out of it, and just feels kind of grimy. There's even some algae already starting to grow right there. So Josh is gonna get the pressure washer set up for me. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna wipe down the outside of the grill. And I need to get my boots on because I don't like pressure washing in sandals. I'm gonna go grab my boots. Well, this will take a lot less time than doing the whole deck, I think.
Oh. Every time.
Oh, it's off.
Every time.
I think it was about 2 months ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, that I came out here and I did pressure wash these rugs. I pressure washed the patio. The patio still looks overall really, really good, other than the areas that had some dirt that I wanted to clean up from just using the patio as kind of like a garden area. But we've had quite a bit of rain, and I think the rain, you know, affected these rugs. They got kind of grimy again, and I wanted to go into this dry season because, like I said, now it's the dry season. I want it, and we're eating outside quite a bit. I think we've already eaten out there like 6 or 7 times, and I wanted to have it be nice and clean again. So while I'm pressure washing that rug, Josh is going to come to the grill and he's going to detail the outside of it. He actually takes off all the knobs. He brings those inside and scrubs all the knobs. He gets the whole outside cleaned, and the inside part where the drawers are, I don't actually use anything. I don't store anything in the inside, but because it is outside, he went ahead and cleaned the inside of the drawer areas. You can see this is covered. So I clean the outside of it pretty regularly because I use this grill multiple times a week, and I don't cover it because I wouldn't use it as much if I covered it. And so because of it being outside, the outside gets dirty. So I definitely would clean the grill. I just didn't know I needed to clean the inside of the grill. So in the time Josh took to finish kind of detailing the grill, I got the first rug done, and then we put the table on it, and then later we were thinking we probably shouldn't have put the table on it. We don't end up putting the rest of the furniture around it because I didn't want it to cast a shadow, but then later Josh and I were like, well, we probably shouldn't even put the table on it and just let it dry in the sun, because on this day it was beautiful. But we put the rug on, and now what we're going to do is move the furniture from the second rug. And this rug was worse than the first rug. If you guys have any tips or tricks on how to keep rugs cleaner other than just in the winter bringing them in, because that's my plan. I don't know if these rugs are going to last another year. Here you can see like that redness. I don't know what that is. If it's some sort of like algae or something, I don't know. And then you can see where there is green algae growing. But I don't think these rugs are going to last another year. But I wanted to go into this dry season with them nice, fresh, and clean. And so I'm really glad I took the time to do this. I almost didn't do this. I was like, I don't know. I don't really want to pull the pressure washer out again and do it. But it was a beautiful day, and I knew that I would not regret doing it if I did it. So we went ahead and did it. And I'm really, really glad. Here you can really see how much better this is looking after pulling the pressure washer out. And I'm really hoping that this pressure washer session with these rugs lasts until the end of the summer, and I don't have to pull the pressure washer out again. Next year, or when I buy new rugs, I was thinking these rugs are very neutral and they match my patio and they almost blend in. I think next year I want to do something with a little bit, I don't know if more color, but maybe a little bit more contrast, so it kind of pops off the patio a little bit more and the furniture, because my furniture is pretty neutral. My patio is a very neutral color, and these rugs were kind of neutral. So I was just thinking it would be maybe kind of nice to have something with a little bit more interest or contrast. Probably contrast. I probably would still do some sort of, I probably wouldn't do like blue or pink rugs or anything like that, just because I don't tend to gravitate toward those types of things. But maybe a really dark brown or something like that. I don't know. We'll see next year. That'll be a project I'll have to think about next year. But for now, I'm just glad that I was able to get out here and get these rugs nice and clean, because you really can see the difference that it made. And then because I'm done doing any sort of like planting or gardening on the garden or on the patio, I'm not going to be planting any more green stalks or anything. I did go around and kind of pressure wash and try to get as much of the dirt off. And then while I was pressure washing, I thought, you know what? this table could use a little bit of a pressure wash. I didn't do that last time we were out here with the pressure washer. I did not realize how bad. There's kind of like grout lines on this table, and it looked a lot better after taking the pressure washer to it. So I was really glad that I was able to go ahead and get the table clean as well, because this next week we're going to have a dinner out here with the grandparents. Still have to put all the furniture away, but those look a lot better. I unfortunately think that they're only going to make it through one more season. Oh well. Okay, now Josh has started the freeze dryer project for me, which is really nice. That's the last thing that absolutely has to be done, because I thawed that organ meat. I took it out 2 days ago, and I just don't want it sitting in the refrigerator longer than it has to. The salmon and the cod was thawed yesterday, but it took the heart and liver until today. I'm taking my socks off because they're wet and dirty, to be thawed, and I just don't want those sitting in the fridge. So I think Josh is setting up the freeze dryer now, and then him and I will get that stuff going in the freeze dryer. And I don't think I actually showed you this when I put my flowers on there. Did you see? I actually found some more zinnias and I put those in here. But this is the piece of furniture that was delivered today. I think it obviously needs to be moved over this way a little bit, and I have to learn how to style it, and I want to get a lamp for one side and a big piece of art, and I need to get some organizers so that we can put our extra dishes in here. But the only thing is, I am not sure I really like the hardware. Josh and I might replace the hardware, but I'm excited to have a piece of furniture in here for things like my bee cups, my fancier napkins that we use on a special occasion, and stuff like that. Wine glasses can go in there. Hey, Josh. Oh, I thought he was out here setting up the freeze dryer, but I guess not. I can do that. In the amount of time it takes for that to cool, I will have the trays all ready. You can, well, I'll talk about it in just a minute. I gotta get my trays out. Sometimes you just give yourself projects that you forgot that you needed to get done, and I have no regrets that we were able to get this done on this day. So when I buy half a cow, I always request the organ meat. So what I do with that organ meat is I freeze dry it. And I had some salmon and some other fish in my freezer for far too long. We moved with the salmon, so it's been in my freezer for 3 years. So it's not anything that Josh and I really want to eat. And I figured the best thing to do for it would be to freeze dry the organs and this fish at the same time and make some delicious, nutritious dog treats for my dogs. They go crazy for freeze-dried organ meat. And it's a way that I can use as much of the cow when I purchase a cow from a local farmer as possible. I wish Josh and I liked organ meat. We do not really like it. I know I could grind it up and put it in capsules, but what I just do is I give it to my dogs because they are thrilled with it. So here I've got my freeze dryer trays. I have a large freeze dryer, and I do not have the silicone mats. I really need to get the silicone mats. When I had my medium one, I had the silicone mats and they're very, very nice. But when we got the large one, we gifted our medium one to my mother-in-law, and I found some more trays and mats that I need to give her. Here you can see the difference. The bottom one, the bottom tray, that's a large tray, and the tray on top is a medium tray. And in the large freeze dryer, you can have 6 trays. There's 6 shelves, and in the medium one, there were 5. And so there's much more capacity in the large one. And so here what I'm doing is just getting some parchment paper down on these trays, because I figured it'd be much easier to clean these trays if the organ meat and salmon and cod was not just sitting directly on the trays. You can freeze dry directly on the trays. I normally, when it's something like herbs or like a vegetable of some kind, I usually don't go through the effort of putting parchment paper down, but I figured with the salmon and with the organ meat, my future self would be grateful if I used parchment paper. So that's what I did. So like I said, this is some salmon that's been in my freezer for far too long. All I'm going to do is cut it into treat size pieces. My dogs get 1 or 2 of these every day, and they are so happy about it. I ran out of freeze-dried treats a long time ago. This has been on my list of things to do for a long time, but you know how life is, you just kind of have to wait until there's time to do it, and this was the perfect time to get this project done. And I wasn't sure if my dogs would actually like the fish because I have never given them seafood before, and they love it just as much as the heart and the liver. One of my goals is to become a seafood lover. Josh and I both, seafood is not our favorite. We both really wish we did love it because I feel like we miss out on a lot of protein options and just like variety because there's so many different types of fish and different types of seafood. But we're not there yet. But I would like to learn to like it or love it. And so I do have some recipes that I'm actually really excited to try potentially this summer. It just depends on how busy, you know, the summer gets once the garden really gets going. But there's some fish taco recipes with like a beer batter that I'm really excited to try that sound really good. I have a couple different salmon ones with like an incredible glaze on the top that sound really good. And so I think I just need to learn to cook it better because I don't know how to cook it. Because when we have gone to like really nice food events or restaurants where we do like chef tastings where it's all coursed out, Josh and I really enjoy doing that. And when they do have courses of seafood, we generally do enjoy it. It's just not anything we would order at a restaurant. And part of it is I think that, you know, these chefs know what they're doing and I don't know what I'm doing at home. So I just need to learn how to cook it well. So I am working on the seafood and Josh is working on the liver. He was very gracious and offered to go ahead and do the liver and heart because it's really not something that I enjoy doing. And it's just one of those things that needs to be done. So it was really nice that he took that on and did that for me. So right now he's working on the liver. You can see the heart there. He's going to do that next. And once he gets those all diced up and cubed up, then we can go ahead and get them on the freeze dryer trays. The freeze dryer is cooling. This is what they all look like once they are prepped and ready to go into the freeze dryer. These are all raw at this point. I could throw them back in the freezer and freeze them before freeze drying if I wanted to save my freeze dryer a step, but I'm just going to go ahead and put these directly into the freeze dryer raw, and the freeze dryer will freeze it and then it will freeze dry it for me. And then I'm going to show you what they look like coming out of the freeze dryer. I can't remember how long it took. This is what they look like coming out of the freeze dryer and in a glass jar. I think it took like 24, maybe 30. I can't remember exactly how long it took. It took at least 24 hours to get this done. And I just put them in a glass jar and they're ready to go for my dogs. I have cleaned up. The freeze dryer is going. I was able to get the grill all put back together. I ran everything through the dishwasher and then I gave it one really good scrub. And now to make sure everything dries really, really well, I don't want anything to rust or anything, I turned the grill on, so this is just heating up to get everything dry. Josh helped me get the patio all put back together, so all the furniture is back in place. I put all the green stalks back in place. We have the freeze dryer going, and now we can just enjoy the back patio. It feels really good getting all of this cleaned up again, and we can just sit back, watch everything grow. I do need to plant these pumpkins still, but I'm not going to do that today or tomorrow. These are the last things I need to plant. Tell me if you help your seedlings along when you see that. So what a great day. I am tired. We are going to relax as a family for the rest of the day. We got a lot done. The whole garden has been fed. Oh, the black beans got put down in the pantry. Now we just sit back, relax, and enjoy. I don't have to cook dinner tonight. I want to thank you for being here. Let me pop some videos here you can go enjoy between now and my next upload. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope you're excited for summer, and I can't wait to see you next time. I think I'm going to go ahead and turn this off before I forget. Cannot believe how bad that was. So glad it is all clean and ready for us to use all summer long. Bye, friend.